Harry Baldock here, editor at Total Telecom, and today it's my pleasure to be joined by Ian Waters, partner at Mentor. Ian, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you, Harry.
Today we're here to discuss the Mentor Execution Index, a program health assessment tool that you recently launched. This tool uses state-of-the-art AI and analytics to help identify key issues that may have been designed into a program earlier in the program's life cycle. So my first question for you, Ian, is about the inspiration for the tool. What exactly inspired Mentor to apply data analytics and AI tools and techniques to the world of program management?
Mentor's been around a long time, several decades. Over that period, we've rescued over 100 programs. So we've got a real understanding of what goes wrong on a complex program. And we've developed quite a robust blueprint on the things that you can do right to sort of stop it happening again. So historically, our approach to kind of rescuing programs would be a classic kind of health check, evaluate the status of the program, evaluate it against all the learnings from our blueprint, and then sort of map out a path and set of recommendations to get it back to health. It works as a process, but we've always been conscious that there are drawbacks with this approach. It's time consuming. It takes several weeks to do. It can be disruptive. You've got consultants on site with a team that's often firefighting in the midst of a challenging program. We're developing views on the program, but they're often qualitative, not particularly cheap. You've got a consulting engagement to fund. And inevitably, it's quite a bespoke process. It's sort of one-off assessment that isn't repeatable or it's hard to justify doing multiple times. So we wanted to apply the latest analytical tools, data analytic techniques, statistical modeling techniques, AI to our blueprint, really to make our health check a much more robust process, to make it much more quantitative in the way we evaluate the state of a program, to make it quick, something that we can do in days rather than weeks or months, and absolutely something that's eminently repeatable and robust in the fact that you can run it periodically through the life of a program. So we looked around and we engaged a company called Predley, some Swedish guys, set up by a data scientist out of the University of California in Berkeley, experts in the application of kind of data analytic techniques and AI to business problems. Their claim to fame was the Berkeley Innovation Index, which looks at sort of innovation in companies on the west coast of the States and tries to benchmark kind of companies against the best when it comes to innovation. And we did the same really around program execution. So to bring our understanding of and our blueprint on what you need to do to get a program to work well, and apply those sort of analytical tools and techniques together, and we came up with the Mentor Execution Index.
So can you give me some detail about how you use the Mentor Execution Index to help companies deliver their toughest programs?
So we ask a wide range of program participants. We can ask employees on the program. We can ask customers. We can ask suppliers. So an end-to-end view of a program to complete an online survey anonymously. We run them through a set of 50 or so structured questions, a mixture of quantitative questions and qualitative questions. And with those responses from that survey, we're able to use the latest statistical modeling techniques to build some algorithms that score the results, to get us a view of that program. How well aligned are the teams on the objective of the program? How strong is the organization that underpins the program? How robust are the plans? How well are key suppliers performing? All the sort of classic issues that drive programs to either succeed or fail. I think it's an approach to quantifying issues that people are used to. Employee engagement tools, customer engagement tools, customer satisfaction tools use these sort of techniques, and we've applied it to the world of programs. We've been very pleased in the programs we've run that people are both. We get very high response rates. We get very high quality responses that really allow us to drill into what's going on in a program. And it gives us a set of insights on the state of a program, what's really going on under the bonnet that you can't get with typical PMO tools and techniques. Gantt charts, RAID logs, risk registers, all important parts of a program toolkit. They don't really tell you what's really driving success or failure. What we were able to sort of pull out of this execution index is a series of lead rather than lag indicators, sorts of issues that are going to sink a program if they're not addressed quickly. So we can make recommendations to sort of to take actions on a program before it gets into trouble, rather than waiting for it, to be all over the floor, to be months late, tens of millions of pounds over budget before remedial action happens. What we really love about this is we can do it quickly. We can do it in days rather than weeks or months. It's not based on purely an expert view or an outsider's view or a third-party view. It's the views and the words of the people who really know what's going best, what's going on a program. Those right at the coalface of the activity. It allows us, I think what we really love about this approach is it allows us to take a truly end-to-end view of a program. In a world of increasingly complex supply chains when it comes to program delivery, we can look upstream to our client's customer, if there is one, downstream to their suppliers and subcontractors, and get a real end-to-end view of what's going on in the program. We can pinpoint specific areas where problems might lie. And we can do it regularly. So you can do it at the start of the program, and then you can take a pulse of the program periodically over a life of a program that might run 18, 24, 36 months on some of the big programs. And look at where you are, where you're trending, how remedial actions improve or don't the performance of a program. So it gives us a very robust framework for evaluating and addressing program problems.
Finally, I wanted to talk to you about how the MEI relates to the telecoms industry. What specific challenges do you see facing the telecoms industry right now, and how can the MEI help overcome them?
I think it's fair to say that the telecoms industry has a lot of complex programs underway or facing it, whether it's all the fibre deployments that are going on, tens of billions of dollars being deployed, large 5G deployments, companies having to sort of migrate away from Huawei, looking to bring on loads of new suppliers, say in the Open RAN environment, re-engineering their core networks. There's a lot of complexity that needs to be delivered in terms of the opportunities facing the telecoms industry. The supply chains that people are dealing with are increasingly complex, lots of new suppliers that people are evaluating and want to bring into the mix. So a lot of complexity to deal with, but they're dealing with that in typically very tough financial environments. There's can't afford to mess these programs up. They can't afford to be written off, late, huge overruns. And they're doing it obviously in a COVID environment where the sort of informal chats that you might have that might flush out issues around a program just don't happen, or are much more infrequent than they might otherwise be. And we think that the Mentor Execution Index is really well positioned to sort of help with all these challenges. It allows our clients to take a really critical look at their program, to do it quickly, painlessly, regularly, flush out the issues, get them on the table, get them understood by management and across the program and with their suppliers and customers, and then allow them to address those issues before they cause real long-term damage to a program, and to track the success of those actions and see that that program throughout its life cycle.
It's been a real pleasure speaking to you. Thanks very much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you, Harry.